Good afternoon, students. Welcome to the class on coordination chemistry. We will discuss factors influencing stability of complexes and chelate complexes in this class. According to valency bond theory, outer orbital complexes are labile and inner orbital complexes are inert. So that means outer orbital complexes will involve in reactions, whereas inner orbital complexes are stable in reactions. According to CFT, complexes with large delta are more stable than complexes with less delta. This is octahedral splitting field. For example, when we compare like this, these are less stable complexes because their delta value is lower, whereas these are more stable complexes because their delta values are higher. Of course, we have already seen this during CFT, and we have also explained it for hydration of metal complexes. Scandium, titanium, vanadium, chromium, manganese, iron, nickel, iron, cobalt, nickel, copper, zinc. When we look at stability, as we know, scandium is less stable compared to titanium 2 plus. Titanium 2 plus is more stable, is less stable compared to vanadium 2 plus. Then from vanadium 2 plus, the stability will come down, chromium, and then manganese. After manganese, again the stability will increase for iron, cobalt, and then nickel. Again the stability will come down for copper and then zinc. This we have seen it clearly, right? Because scandium 2 plus is having D1 electronic configuration, titanium D2. So with increase in number of electrons in T2G level, we will CFSE will increase. What is CFSE? CFSE is a stabilizing factor. So with increase in CFSE will increase up to D3 for a low spin complex. For D3, it is maximum. Then fourth electron will enter into EG orbital. As a result, CFSE will come down. So that is why for chromium 2 plus, CFSE will be lower than titanium 2 plus. Then for manganese 2 plus, it is even lower because it is D5 system. Okay. Just take these two examples. Zinc is more stable than manganese, which is even more stable than scandium. Similarly, when we compare scandium, titanium, and vanadium, vanadium is more stable than titanium than scandium. Here also, for iron, cobalt, nickel, we can compare. Nickel is more stable than cobalt. Cobalt is more stable than iron. As we know, as the charge of the ion increases, the size of the ion will decrease. If the charge on the metal ion increases, size will decrease. When the size of the metal ion is small, then the bonds it forms with the ligands, they are also small smaller in size. Shorter bonds, or in other words, we can say stronger bonds. Shorter bonds are stable, are stronger than larger bonds. So a metal ion with high charge, or in other words, with a small size, will form stable bonds with ligands, or in other words, will form stable complexes. Here, fluorine charge is -1, 6 fluorines are there, 6 minus, but only 3 minus is there. That means aluminum is in +3 oxidation state, silicon is in +4 oxidation state, phosphorus is in +5 oxidation state. So among these three compounds, phosphorus with very high charge will form stable compound compared to other compounds. So this is stability, and this is lability. Stability, or in other words, we can say inertness. Stability or inertness. This is also a similar factor, radii of central metal ion. This is similar to this. So metal ions with a small size or we can say radii will form stable complexes. Look at these examples. Hexa aqua magnesium 2 complex, hexa aqua calcium 2 complex, hexa aqua strontium 2 complex. Magnesium, which is the second group element, magnesium, calcium, strontium. Magnesium is smaller in size than calcium. Calcium is smaller in size than strontium. So this is lability, that means these are unstable, and this is a stability order. Magnesium is having smaller size, the complexes it generates are more stable. Strontium, which is having a large size, complexes are more labile compared to magnesium complex. Charge to radius ratio for a series of octahedral complexes containing the same ligands, that means different complexes having same number of ligands. The complexes having the central metal ions with the largest charge to radius ratio will react slowly. What is charge to radius ratio? When we have high charge, radius will be smaller. So charge by radius will be a large quantity. This we can compare with the charge on metal ion. First point, charge on metal ion. Charge to radius ratio will also be higher for metal ions with a high charge. Charge to radius ratio will be higher for metal ions with a high charge. So the complexes having the central metal ions with the largest charge to radius ratio will react slowly. So complexes with the largest charge to radius ratio, they are mostly stable. So they react very slowly. we will look how we can calculate the formula of a complex formula, or we can say composition. The first method is method of continuous variations, which is also known as Jobs method. Jobs method is applied for colored complexes. If the complexes are colored, then we can use absorbance, UV visible absorbance measurements to identify the formula or composition of the complexes. So this is a spectrophotometric method, UV visible spectrophotometric method, where solutions of metal ion and ligands form only one type of complex. That means when we mix metal ion solution and ligand solutions, they will form only one type of complex. If there are two possibilities like a cis and trans possible, for such complexes we cannot use this. We can use this method only for complexes. We can use this method for complexes which has only one isomer, Now, what we need to do, we need to prepare equimolar solutions of metal ion and ligands. Say for example, prepare 1 molar solution of metal ion, 100 ml metal ion solution. Similarly, 100 ml of 1 molar ligand solution. So for both metal and ligands, we need to prepare equimolar. Then make 10 solutions of complex containing metal ion and ligands in such proportions that the total volume of each solution is 10 ml. It means, for example, in the first solution, if we take 0 ml of metal ion, then we will take 10 ml of ligand. So as a result, total volume is 10 ml. We will prepare these 10 solutions in such a way the total volume will be 10 ml. In second solution, we will take metal ion 1 ml metal ion solution, 9 ml metal ion solution. In the third solution, we will take 2 ml metal ion solution, 8 ml ligand solution. Similarly, for fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10, 11. So in all these solutions, we can say the total volume is 10 ml. Also, see, we are taking equimolar solutions. That means molarity of metal ion solution and molarity of ligand solution are equal. So when we take 1:9, then we can say this is number of moles, 1 mole of a metal plus 9 moles of ligand. In other words, we can calculate the mole fraction of ligand. It is 9/10 for this solution, or we can say 0.9. So mole fraction of ligand is 0.9. Here mole fraction of ligand is 0.8. Mole fraction of ligand is 0.7. 7 by 3 plus 7, 10. 7 by 10. Here 0.6, 0.5, 0.4, 0.3, 0.2, 0.1. So this is the mole fraction of the ligand. Therefore, concentration of ligand plus concentration of metal is equal to total concentration. This is equation 1. Concentration of ligand plus concentration of metal is equal to total concentration. This is equation 1. Now what we will do, we will measure absorbance we will measure the absorbances of all these 10, 11 solutions. We will measure the absorbance of all these solutions and we will draw a graph. We will draw the graph between mole fraction of ligand and the absorbance of the solution. When we draw a graph of absorbance versus mole fraction, of ligand, what happens? Initially, we have low amount of metal ion, large amount of ligand. So small amount of complex will be formed. With increasing metal concentration, complex amount of complex will also increase. That means concentration will increase. At some point of time, it will reach a maximum. Then what is happening? Metal ion concentration is increasing, ligand concentration is decreasing. So the amount of complex formed will also decrease. In order to form a complex, we need both metal and ligand, right? So when we increase the metal concentration and decrease the ligand concentration, again, complex concentration will decrease. That means absorbance will increase with increase in metal ion concentration. It reaches a maximum and then again it will decrease. It will decrease. But the exact point of maximum absorbance, that we cannot take from the graph. So for that, what we need to do, we need to take two tangents. Tangent for this part, tangent for this part. And we will look at the cross section. So this is the cross section. Now we will get mole fraction of the ligand. Mole fraction of this ligand can be measured. The maximum absorbance occurs at a mole fraction that corresponds to the composition. So the maximum absorbance will be observed at a point where the mole fraction becomes the composition of the complex. Mole fraction will become composition of the complex. So from this, if we know XL, then we can, XL means ligand mole fraction, we can easily calculate the composition or the formula of the complex. So this is how we can measure or we can identify the formula of a complex using Jobs method. Here we will observe maximum absorbance at a mole fraction, which is nothing but the composition. So from this we can say XL is equal to ligand concentration by total concentration. This is equation 2. Mole fraction maximum, for maximum absorbance, mole fraction is equal to ligand concentration by total concentration. Also, the formula of the complex. What is the formula? Formula of the complex is MLN, then N is equal to CL by Cm. That means concentration of ligand by concentration of metal. What is N? N is number of ligands. N is number of ligands. When we take concentration of ligand to concentration of metal ratio, we will get N. From that N, we can write the formula MLN. From equation 1, what is equation 1? Cl plus Cm is equal to C. Or just divide it with C. Cl by C plus Cm by C is equal to 1. What is Cl by C? Cl by C is nothing but XL. XL. What is Cm by C? What is Cm by C? Cm by C is nothing but metal mole fraction. That we will preserve it for some time. So this is equation 4. Or we can say Cm by C is equal to 1 minus XL. Cm by C is equal to 1 minus XL. Now take 2 by 4. 2 by 4, equation 2 by equation 4. So what we will get? Cl by C into C by Cm is equal to XL by 1 minus XL. Or Cl by Cm is equal to XL by 1 minus XL. What is Cl by Cm? It is nothing but N. It is nothing but N. So when we measure XL, ligand mole fraction for maximum absorbance, just substitute in this equation. N is equal to XL by 1 minus XL. So from that we will get N. Then formula is MLN.